Welcome to a new story. Welcome to a day unwritten. We gather to speak of possibility. We remember the losses. We celebrate the victories. We embrace the possible over the probable, weaving a story of hope. Join us in the new story. Join us in the day unwritten. Join us in the future of possibility. Come, let us worship together. I invite you to rise in body or spirit to join in our opening hymn, number 20, Be Thou My Vision. Lights our chalice with these words by Sandra Feeds. For the stories that long to be told and retold, for the stories that long to be imagined and reimagined, for the stories that long to be envisioned and celebrated, we kindle this chalice. May its flame bring the life of different truths, different paths, and different voices, all needed to cultivate a transformative story of justice, love, and beauty. She's the granddaughter of Martin Luther King Jr. and Coretta Scott King. Granddaddy and Grandma, you had a dream we would be judged. You had a dream we would be judged by what's in our hearts, not by the color of our skin. You were gone before I came into this world, but that dream, and so many others, lives deep inside of me. Everything you believed in still shines like the brightest sunrise on a golden horizon. Many ask me, do you plan to follow in Dr. King and Coretta Scott King's footsteps? How will you ever fill their shoes? Do you have what it takes to walk in their path? I hold fast to all that you stood for: peace, togetherness, harmony, and love. Granddaddy and Grandma, thanks to your wisdom and determination, I now have my own footsteps, my own journey, my own dreams of our world. And so, while I follow your example, I am also ready to lead. I am ready to walk the uncertain road from today to tomorrow. I am ready to keep my eyes on the prize that you set out before us with the power of your vision. Yes, Grandma Coretta. Yes, Granddaddy Martin. I am ready. Every day, I thank you for the gifts you gave so many of us through your hard work. Because of you, I know that struggle and triumph are bigger than just me. The promise of a new day starts with me. You helped us see the dream, and now we are here to be the dream. The wisdom of your words weaves a rainbow that lights our way. Granddaddy, you told us love is the key. Grandma, you taught us when the heart is right, the mind and body will follow. These words, these keys to our hearts, open the door to all that is possible. My parents remind me that in your lives together, you shared what came to be called a revolution of values. I'm sorry there are still so many problems to endure. You devoted your lives to making our lives better. And now it's my turn to start a new revolution that values kindness, truth, equality, and service. There are still rocks in the road. I wish you were here so that we could walk it together. Because our dreams need the strength of a love so powerful that nothing can stop them or us. We dream a world where the only walls are those that hold safe spaces and have windows and mirrors that reflect our unity. Beauty has no boundaries. We dream a world where trees, flowers, and the earth's creatures thrive in their right seasons. Spring, summer, winter, fall, honesty is the warmest climate. We dream a world where bullies turn their backs on being mean. Let kindness begin with me. We dream a world where sickness can be driven out by the healing power of hope. Love is the cure. We dream a world where every child can go to college. Education fuels our nation. Reading is believing. Grandma and Granddaddy, so many want to know, How will you honor your grandparents' legacy? The answer is simple. We keep your dream alive by planting our dreams, like trees in an orchard, to be nurtured by tomorrow's gardens, with determined feet blazing a new path. We are ready to take the torch you lit before you were born. We are ready to grip that glistening baton, to hold faith by the hand, to pass it on. We are ready to reach, to sparkle like stars in a bold blue sky. Our time has come to bring our twinkle, letting everyone know. Spread the word. Have you heard? All across the nation, we are going to be a great generation. From today to tomorrow, we dream a world. Thanks for listening. Please remain seated for our prayer hymn. Prayer hymn number 1029, Love Knocks and Waits for Us to Hear. I light the first candle for Julie F. and her dad, who've been caring for her mother at home in a hospital bed. She's been in and out of the hospital 11 times over the past 14 months. They will be riding in an ambulance with her tomorrow for a medical procedure. We hold all of them in our hearts. In the silence that follows the prayer, you are invited to come forward and light a candle for any joys or concerns you hold in your heart this morning. Who dreamed you into being? What stories sat in their heart as they imagined what you would become? Who helped you imagine your story? Who helped you see your place in the story of the world? And what maybe matters the most? Who helped you understand that you could be the author of your own unfolding? All of which is a way of asking, who listened? Who listened until you could hear yourself speak? Until you trusted the voice that is your own? And now that you know what it is like to have the tale of yourself be heard into being, how might you midwife the story of another into existence? You know the kinds of stories I'm talking about. Those kept in cramped spaces of silence, for fear of how hard and narrow this world of ours can be. Who needs your listening so their story can be set free? Whose story needs held in your heart so it knows it is worth entering the world? We say it is about listening, but really it is about love. It is through affection that our stories are born. They are wooed into this world. Never forget that, nor this. It is through loving the stories of others and the stories of our own that we discover they love us back. May it be so. Amen. I light a candle for the joys and concerns of those beloveds joining us virtually, and I will light a candle for all else that we hold in our hearts and minds this morning. If your heart is hurting, know that your community is here to help, as is Reverend Jane. Please reach out with any needs. Our offering words are by Kristen Collins. We give to remind ourselves of how many gifts we have to offer. We give to remember that we are part of something bigger than ourselves. We give because we believe in music and sacred space. We give with the faith that together we have enough. For all that you give and all that you do for our church and its wider concerns, we give thanks. Let us hear an excerpt from Listening by Richard S. Gilbert. I know what discipline this requires, for even while I'm listening to another, I am often distracted, thinking ahead to what brilliant thing I'm going to say in response. Listening, then, has a spiritual dimension. It suggests that I am not the center of the cosmos, but rather one source of words among others. It implies that I have no monopoly on wisdom, that true wisdom may be found in listening. Listen. Listen to what others have to say. There is wisdom in all you meet. Listen to the sounds of nature. It speaks and sings and makes music. For those who pay attention, listen, listen to the impulses of your spirit. Take time to hear your inner yearnings, that still small voice drowned in the raucous shout. Listen, this is a noisy world. Perhaps this year we will listen. Belongs by Tara Brach. The sound of rain, not cheerful songs, a quiet rocking chair, not traditions of the season, that early sunset, not dancing lights, loss, tender heart, hollow soul, heavy days. Grief is welcome, a sacred part of the mourning, of the bereft, of the weeping. Amidst the celebrating, this too belongs. This too is holy. It binds us to our ancestors, the earth, the stars. Yet still, a steaming mug of tea warms the belly. The dog wags its tail, and the cat purrs. There are laughter and tears, sometimes both, beside the joy. This too belongs. Sharing human suffering is connection. Hearts like stones are held by all that is grief and light intertwined. Please rise in body or spirit to join our voices in hymn 346. Come sing a song with me. As many of you know, I'm a therapist. I've been practicing for 34 years in community mental health, emergency rooms, and in private practice. I've had the privilege of knowing so many different people in all walks of life and in all states of mental health. Telling and listening to stories is my stock and trade. I'm endlessly curious about people's stories and want to know what makes them tick, to the point that I'm not just a therapist, but a crime show junkie. Most people start therapy when a crisis or a serious problem arises. I encourage clients to let me know what brought them in first. Invariably, to one extent or another, they begin to tell me more about themselves as they gain trust. Some already have a clear narrative of their story, but others are so overwhelmed that they are not clear about the story themselves. By listening carefully and checking out my understanding with clients, they begin to piece together their story. Often, those with trauma histories are not fully aware of what happened to them. I help clients recognize patterns in their early relationships, which have shaped how they see themselves and others and engage in relationships. I remind them that when they fall back into patterns, old patterns, it's understandable. Gradually, they begin to catch themselves and are able to make new choices about how they want to be in relationship with others. Though people would like to believe that there's a prescription for change, it's a process which occurs in a therapeutic relationship. Having someone deeply listening to their story builds the relationship as their experience is validated with empathy. Simply telling your story and being heard engenders a sense of caring and love. There's soothing and healing in the process, leading to an increased sense of well-being and confidence. Both during therapy and afterwards, clients use their understanding of their story to improve their lives. Relationships expand and improve, leading to greater satisfaction in personal relationships and the ability to negotiate relationships in the workplace and the community. Here's a story of transformation of a client who experienced therapy and attendance at Alcohol Anonymous meetings. She was 21 when she began to have a series of depressive episodes, beginning in her senior year of college, which resulted in her having to take a leave of absence. The depression was so severe that she was unable to function. She was so depressed that she saw no hope for the future and considered suicide. Fortunately, she had the opportunity to engage in therapy for several years. Initially, she was so overwhelmed with guilt and shame that she really couldn't articulate what was going on with her. She had been given the idea that being vulnerable was dangerous. It took some time to trust her therapist. She began to understand her family dynamics and her role in it. Her story evolved. During that time, she was able to return to college and get her degree. In the midst of several years of therapy, her therapist identified her substance abuse as a problem which was holding her back. She'd been self-medicating since the age of 16 and was an alcoholic by the time she was 18 and entering college. It took a few years before she could accept that she couldn't drink anymore. At age 24, she quit drinking and drugs for good. She joined AA, where members tell their stories in various ways over and over again, often disclosing the horrors of their addictions. They listen to and support each other, developing strong bonds built on authentic emotions. Her ability to understand herself continued to develop, and she learned how to relate to people without relying on drugs and alcohol. During this period of time, she had a low-level retail job which allowed her to focus on her emotional stability and sobriety. At age 28, she entered graduate school and established a professional career at the age of 30. She quit smoking and started exercising more. Having come through her hopelessness about the future, she had goals of buying a house, marrying, having children, all of which she accomplished. She particularly enjoyed the close relationships with her children she developed by caring for them attentively and enjoying many activities with them. She was able to give her children more than she had been given by her parents and felt very good about it. Life was full and rich. Though she endured other depressive episodes later in life and experienced losses that come with age, she was able to weather them successfully. As a therapist, I bring myself into the relationship. The therapist as a, quote, blank slate has gone by the wayside. My use of self, using the experiences I've had, allows me to resonate with many of the experiences of my clients. It's not simply life experiences, but those deeply personal and fraught with pain and struggle. It is not necessary to disclose them. What is important is connecting with the deep emotions that clients feel, allowing them to feel understood and that there is someone with them. In an excerpt from Stubborn Grace, Faith, Mental Illness, and Demanding a Blessing, Kate Landis said of her experience with depression, "Later, I would have a few turns as well, an emotional riptide pulling me under the waves. Freeing myself took more strength than I could muster, but I was pulled from the crashing surf by the people who love me. I am broken yet beloved, imperfect but cherished. I felt them as real as the saltwater breeze, pulling me unflaggingly through the current. I tell my story to accompany fellow travelers trying to make it back to the shore." She describes the process of her being brought through depression with the help of others and sharing her story so that others might believe that they too could survive a depressive episode. I've been graced by being a part of and listening to other people's stories. Their different truths, paths, and voices touch my spirit and my experience of the richness of humanity. I would like to end with a quote by Richard Wagamese. "Share stories. Fill cold nights with the warmth of your connections, your relationships. Hear each other and be made more. That is the power of storytelling." Please rise in body or spirit to join our voices in hymn 34, "Though I May Speak with Bravest Fire."
And how
May we have the courage to speak or write the stories within us that need to be told, the stories that make up our lives. May we listen with a loving mind and heart to the stories of others' lives, others here in this church, and others in our wider community and world. Let us choose with care the stories that we teach to our children, remembering that all of our stories have power and that all of our stories are connected, for all of life is one. In the name of all that is sacred in these gathered hearts, may it be so. Go in peace. Amen.